TV with him. He doesn't have like a Nintendo Switch or anything like that. So he needs entertainment. So he and Joel and Amanda would tell stories over the fire, and that's how like they were entertained. So storytelling is going to become a super important part of that culture. And then, of course, some of these stories are ones we know today, like Aladdin, Alibaba the 40 Thieves, 1001 Nights. And here is my favorite joke in the entire PowerPoint, because it's a book about Aladdin, and it's a peek-a-boo book. Because it's peeps up, and, Abu is the monkey. Clearly a lot of F minuses. Nora chuckled for a second. She gets an A+. Everyone else, I'm so sorry. I have to fail you. So, lots of great literature. Yeah, nice try, Celeste. More like breaks my heart stay. All right. Philosophy, we really don't need much in here except for the fact that they're going to combine the ideas from Greeks, Hindus, and Buddhists. So we don't have to get too much into it, but it's going to be one of the cool trends. While we have Arabs are going to come up along the same conclusions that some Christian writers are going to come up at the same time too. Around this time, when we go to Europe, we're going to be seeing Thomas Aquinas is going to say faith and science don't have to conflict, they don't have to fight. And we're going to see this Muslim scholars coming up with the same ideas, looking at Greek ideas, Hindu ideas, Buddhist ideas, and having that go combined with their ideas. It's pretty cool. You feeling okay, Eli? I heard they were pulling out all your teeth. Yeah? You're good? I'm impressed that you're here, broski. Oh, yeah? Man. Mathematics. Now, one of the things you're going to need to know with mathematics is they invented our numbers. That's right. Well, technically, they're Indo-Arabic numerals. So in India, they first started, and then they were adapted by the Arabs and then spread throughout the world. But the numbers we use every day, 0 through 10, or I guess technically 9, those symbols, those were created and distributed by Arabs. And then another thing, algebra, which is really cool here because we can actually go and say algebra like we do, and it's algebra is the same thing in Arabic, so you could speak to someone who speaks Arabic and they would understand, and like what it means restoring what is missing, which is what you do in algebra. You're going and finding these variables. And if it wasn't for algebra, folks, you wouldn't have your TVs, you wouldn't have your phones, you wouldn't have your Xbox Series X's or anything like that, because we need that math to be able to do it. So thank you, Al-Kwazimi. Karazimi. I'm sorry, I butchered that. Oh, poor guy. He'll get over it. He's dead. He doesn't know. So we see great influences with mathematics as well. And once again, we have this idea that it's not like they're just inventing this out of a vacuum. They're going and learning from what is happening in India and what happened in Greece as well. So the Arabian Peninsula, we talked on our first day that it was in the center of things, and it really is, because we're going to have all this great thought in Greece, all this great thought in India, and then Arabs are going to take it and they're going to think about it even more and make it even more awesome. And Nora, it did hurt when Celeste broke my heart. Yeah, because I know that's obviously what you're talking about, and not the tooth extraction that Eli had. And here we can see the evolution of the Indo-Arabic numerals and how it started, like this, and then how, and eventually we get this, which we use today. Now, I do want to know what's going on here. Like, it's so close, but then, like, what is this for? And that 5 kind of looks like Mr. Kenny's handwriting right there, so I can understand that one. But come on, what happened there? All right, Muslim medicine now. This is something that you read about and did in your homework. We're going to have so many medical achievements. And public health under the Islamic world is going to be greater than it had been anywhere else before this. And part of the big reason was that when Rachel wanted to be Dr. Rachel, she had to go to medical school. She had to take tests. Like I said in the beginning of class, Lydia literally in Europe could one day just say she's going to start practicing medicine. She would give people worm stew to make them feel better. Worm stew. Yeah. Yuck. But it did give protein, so it did help a little bit. But, oh, man, when we get to the European medicine, you guys are not going to believe it. Like, Lydia would be like, oh, you're not feeling well, Zainay? Here, let me put some leeches on you to suck your blood. You'll feel better then. But they even invented things like emergency rooms. Yeah, the first emergency rooms, happened there. They did do that, Nora. They did, with a big metal tube. Oh, man. Once you see it, you're going to want to puke. And physicians went and visited different places. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful. Here's one of the diseases that they want. Oh, actually, no. You don't have to. I'm on the wrong slide ahead. Al-Razi, you don't have to know him, but he's going to be a famous doctor. And you need to know they wrote medical books. That's the big thing. So that Miquel over in Spain could figure out what London figured out over in Timbuktu, who could figure out what Iris figured out over in Baghdad. Information spread because of these books. They all read Arabic, and it made the world a better place. But yeah, this slide, you really just need to know that they made medical books. And here is the slide that gets everybody grossed out, where we can see some smallpox. And that's just one of the many diseases and sicknesses that they figured and wrote about and figured out ways to treat. Another big improvement, of course, is that they figured out that blood flows through your heart. That's right. At this time, Europeans thought like your blood flowed through your stomach, and that like your blood didn't really flow or circulate, but like that's where your stomach kept it all. And like that your stomach was like a big furnace that cooked everything down to power you. Yep, so they knew blood circulation from the heart. And they figured that out actually by dissecting dead bodies and stuff like that. That's how Arabs did it. That's how Michelangelo was able to make so many lifelike statues, because he'd go to the graveyard and dig up the bodies and take them apart. So he knew how they worked, so he could make them. And yeah. Hey, to make an omelet, you got to crack some eggs, Iris. Anyways, the main thing we need to learn here is that the Abbasid Caliphate, they created a huge trade network. It had cultural diffusion. It had great achievements. And so it was a golden age. And that is our notes for today, my cherubs. That is our notes for today. The